I've had my Legion Go S for roughly about a week, more or less, and the performance that I've seen out of it just isn't up to par, especially when you compare it to that $729 price point. Underneath my last video in the comments section, somebody mentioned that Bazzite gave them a 30 to 40% uplift in performance, which kind of got me wondering whether or not that's true. Now, me right out of the gate, I do not think that's true, but it definitely bears mentioning and is something that we can go ahead and look into in this video. In a few months, we are going to get a Steam OS variant of the Legion Go S. Now, this one that I have in my hands is $729, comes with a Z2 Go chipset, and also has 32 gigabytes of RAM. The ones that are going to be released in a few months, that one is going to have the Z2 Go chipset, as well as 16 gigabytes of RAM, and is going to be, well, different price points depending on whether or not you go with Windows or Steam OS. The Windows version, that one's going to be $599, and the Steam OS version is going to be $499, which, in my opinion, $499 just sounds better overall. And if you really do want Windows on there, you could just dual boot and install your own version of Windows OS on there anyways. But as far as I know, there were some people that were commenting underneath my last video about there being a Z1 Extreme variant of the Legion Go S. And when I went to CES and I talked to the reps over there, none of them mentioned it anyways. But upon doing a little bit of research online, it seems like there is going to be a Z1 Extreme version that is going to be released in select markets. Now, that's not in the US as far as I can tell, and I haven't heard anything yet. But if you guys hear anything, have anything, let me know down in the comments. But as far as right now, everything's just Z2 Go when it comes to the Legion Go S. But with Bazzite OS running on this handheld, it kind of gives us a peek behind the curtain of how Steam OS can run and the experience that you can expect with the internals that are inside. The way that I set this all up is I created 3 different partitions on the same internal SSD on the Legion Go S. One was for Windows OS, the other one was for Bazzite OS, and the third one was a shared drive between both OSs. It was a bit of a pain, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a long process in order to get everything set up, but once it was set up, it's absolutely beautiful and seamless to do. Now, for me personally, I primarily game on Bazzite OS or Steam OS whenever possible, but every once in a while, I want to play something on Windows because it needs anti-cheat software in order to run that is only available via Windows. Now, that being said and done, in this video, I am not going to be talking about the process because, well, the process of setting all of that up is its own entire video and it takes a while to do. But if you want me to go ahead and do that, let me know down in the comments down below and I'll start working on that. In this video specifically, I'm just going to be focusing on the performance of the same games that I ran on the last video in comparison to this one. And more importantly, more than anything else, we're going to be adding a couple of extra games and seeing how that runs on Bazzite OS, because at the end of the day, I did see some differences between what I saw with Windows and what I saw with Bazzite. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would I go with Bazzite when I have the Legion Space app already installed on this handheld? Well, the Legion Space app is plenty of things, but good is not one of them in my opinion. Like, it does a decent job in terms of organizing the games, but at the same time, it kind of sucks. None of the actual box art is there. And when you're accessing the drivers from Lenovo servers, you're not going to get the latest ones. In fact, you're better off downloading AMD Adrenalin software in order to do that. And in terms of actually getting your FPS counter to work properly, you can kiss that goodbye. I had to set up MSI Afterburner, which I do for all of these tests anyways, and that was how I was able to actually see what my frame rate was, my actual frame rate. Now, there are other options as well, like there's an overlay that you can use with AMD Adrenalin as well, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be using the one that came with the Legion Space app. Also, I want to mention that the quick settings tab that is there with that Legion Go button or the Legion Space button, it is super slow and super clunky. Like, it is very difficult to go through the app and actually get the proper settings that I wanted relatively quickly, especially when you compare it to the quick settings menu that you have using Bazzite OS. You're not going to be doing anything super crazy, but if you're playing a game and you want to bring up that quick settings menu to adjust things on the fly, you're going to wait a little bit in order to get things going. Listen, at the end of the day, whenever I'm playing games, I want to jump right into them. I don't want to have to go through all of these hoops in order to get my games running. And in order for me to do that relatively quickly on a handheld, I'm going with Bazzite. I'm not going with Windows. Okay, so here we have Bazzite running on the Legion Go S, and it is absolutely awesome. I love the way that this feels on this handheld because it just changes the overall experience that you have on here. You don't have to deal with any more Windows bloat. It just goes ahead and runs. Now, there are some things that make this much more different than running on just Windows. For instance, I do have that Windows partition that's here. So if I wanted to, all I got to do is go in here, hit play, and it'll run the script, and then it'll reboot the handheld in Windows OS. If I wanted to go back to Bazzite, all I've got to do is literally either shut down and turn it back on whenever I'm ready to game, or just hit restart and it'll restart the handheld and go straight into Bazzite. Honestly, it's pretty awesome. But when it comes down to Bazzite OS, there are a couple of things that make it, well, more unique in its own right. First and foremost, there is a little bit more functionality and flexibility, not that much more different than SteamOS, because SteamOS is pretty open, albeit a couple of other things, but that's a whole different story. Here, if you wanted to go ahead and bring up the quick access menu, all you got to do is hit this button. And if you wanted to go ahead and bring up the Steam menu, it's right here. You don't have to worry about anything else. Now, there is this little key that's back here. If you were to go ahead and hit that macro key, you're going to bring up Handheld Daemon. Another way to do that is actually by double pressing this button over here, and you're going to get all of these different options that are here. Now, I do have this handheld plugged in, and that is how I have that 40-watt TDP that's here with TDP boost. Technically, if I were to go ahead and take it off, it still shows up as 40-watt TDP, but it is something that's there that will eat your battery if you don't have that, just because of the battery size that is on this handheld. Now, if we were to go down, you have a bunch of different options that are here. One of my favorites is literally disable touchscreen until restart, because there are so many instances when I'm just playing the game and I accidentally touch the screen whenever I'm playing. But regardless of that, if I wanted to go ahead and go into desktop mode, it's just like how it is on the regular Steam Deck. So it's pretty cool. Now, in terms of performance that you can expect with this handheld, it really just goes ahead and shows the difference between Bazzite versus Windows. Before we do get deep into how all the different games perform on this handheld, I want to go ahead and mention that Spider-Man 2 just is broken all around. I was trying to adjust different settings while I was testing out the game on Bazzite OS, and similar to that on Windows when I was testing it out over there, it would just crash at random times when I toggled different settings. So I kind of just scrapped it. I did keep it at 1200p with frame generation on Bazzite OS, and I was able to get it to around 55, 60 frames per second on average. And when it dipped below 60, VRR kind of came in, saved the day, and made things look nice and smooth. So if you want to go ahead and play this on this handheld, you want to make sure that you use frame generation. Either that or just play at 800p and upscale, but it's up to you, whatever you want to go ahead and do. So similar to the first time around, when I ran the benchmark for Cyberpunk 2077 at 1200p using the Steam Deck preset, I got roughly 26 frames per second, and this is without using any sort of crazy upscaling or anything like that. When I did put down the resolution internally to 800p and I used the quality preset of balance using that Steam Deck preset, I was getting roughly around 40 frames per second on Windows. Using that same benchmark, running Cyberpunk's benchmark at 1200p, I was getting roughly around 38 frames per second. Now, when I dropped down that resolution to 800p, I was getting 62 frames per second. And this is without any sort of frame generation or anything at all, just using the Steam Deck preset that is there. So just from switching from Windows to Bazzite, you're talking about 40 frames versus 60 frames per second. That's a pretty significant boost in terms of performance on this handheld just by switching OSs. That also translated to actual gameplay. When I went into the game on Bazzite OS and I was just playing, throughout Night City, there were some instances where it would drop below 50 frames per second, but VRR kicked in, and once again, it saved the day, made things look nice and smooth, and my experience was pretty solid when it came to playing Cyberpunk 2077 on Bazzite OS on this handheld. Testing out Horizon Zero Dawn, I wanted to see how it could run with 800p as well as 1200p resolution and with and without frame gen. So at 1200p, I got roughly 23 frames per second without any frame generation. At 800p, I didn't see that much of an improvement in performance. I was getting roughly around 25 frames per second. But when I did turn on frame generation at 800p using the balanced FSR, I was getting roughly around 46 FPS with frame gen. All of of these are in the lowest level preset that is possible, very low with Horizon Zero Dawn. That also translated from the benchmarks to actual gameplay. So the gameplay that you're seeing right now, that is exactly what I saw on my end. When I was running it on Bazzite though, at 1200p, I was getting 39 frames per second without any frame generation, 800p, 46 frames per second, no frame gen, and 800p, 72 frames per second with frame gen. And these are all running it on benchmarks. When I was actually playing the game though, it translated as well, especially on Bazzite. That experience that you get with frame generation while playing this at 800p, it was awesome. I loved being able to get over that 60 FPS hump, and it just made the experience so much smoother. Then you have situations like Returnal, where no matter which operating system you're actually playing the game on, it's just gonna run the same. The performance is pretty much exactly on par and within the margin of error. For example, on Windows at 1200p, I was getting 32 frames per second. On Bazzite, I was getting 31. Whereas on Windows at 800p, I was getting 39 frames per second. And then on Bazzite, I was getting the same exact frame rate. So I guess it really just depends on the games that you're going to be playing on these handhelds anyways. And then you have games like Black Myth Wukong, where the difference is kind of there, but it's still within that margin of error. On Windows at 1200p, I was getting roughly 39 frames per second with no frame generation, whereas on Bazzite at 1200p, I was getting 41 frames per second with no frame generation. When it came to 800p, I was getting 42 frames per second on Windows with no frame gen, and on Bazzite, it was 43 frames per second with no frame gen at 800p. So I guess it really just depends on the exact games that you're going to be playing on these systems and whether or not you would prefer, Windows versus Bazzite. Now, for me personally, like I said earlier within the video, I prefer Bazzite over Windows just because it makes it much easier. But if you were to do a partition and actually get all of this set up properly, then you can have the best of both worlds, which I think is probably the better route for most people anyways. So I guess at the end of the day, I would install Bazzite on this, and that would allow for a little bit more of a performance boost in some of the games that are there. I don't know if this is just because Legion Space or that app that is there that is supposed to be the front UI of the Legion Go S is just completely and totally botched and is completely and totally unoptimized for the processor that's in there. It's not a good experience at all, and I've already talked about that. Now, in terms of whether or not this is better than the Steam Deck, the answer is yes. It's only slightly, though. It's not even that big of a difference, or at least it's not enough for me to be like, oh yeah, like it's definitely worth the extra money that you're going to pay for, because to be honest with you, you could go with a Legion Go, like the one that came out with the Z1 Extreme chipset, or an ROG Ally X, and like you'd be fine. Even the original ROG Ally, you could find for $450, and you will get better performance than you could on the Legion Go S. So I don't really know who this is actually targeted to. I don't know. The ergonomics are fantastic. The controls are fantastic. Like, I've spent more time on this, and like everything externally is just phenomenal. This is a great and well built and well designed handheld, but if this didn't come with the Z2 Go and came with the Z1 Extreme, I would be happy. I would be ecstatic. This would be my daily driver. And installing Bazzite just made that experience on this handheld even better than it was before. So it's hard to really recommend this to anyone. So if you are considering getting the Legion Go S, I would go with that $499 variant that's going to be coming out in a couple of months, or just wait for this Legion Go S with the extra RAM to go on sale inevitably, and that way you can get a better experience. Or just wait for the Legion Go 2 whenever that comes out, because we know it's inevitably going to come out. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this something that you're going to be getting for yourself? Or are you just going to skip out entirely? Or are you going to get that $499 version with SteamOS? Because I feel like that's going to be like the best one out of all of these. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to hear my thoughts, my initial review of the Legion Go S, then click this video over here. And if you want to hear my thoughts on the original Legion Go after having it for 6 months, then click this video over here. And until next time, guys, I will see you on the next one. Peace.